Hey, Basement Prepper back. It's been a while. I'm back to work now. Plus, we got a new addition to the family. But I wanted to talk about escaping, getting out of the Great Lakes region. If you live, around the Great Lakes, most people talk about using power lines, train tracks, walking out, using those as a guideline. But you can also use the rivers and canals to get out. As long as you got some kind of flotation device, an air mattress, tire, dinghy, small boat, anything that'll float, you can get out. And, a lot of people also overlook boats. Lots of resources you can find in personal watercrafts. Like your day boats, you're going to find fuel, water, food. You might find snacks in them, and booze. You're going to find liquor in these boats, beer that you could trade, and medical kits you'll find in them as well. And then your overnight boats, they offer shelter. And another thing they're going to have in your bigger overnight boats are going to be water filtration systems to filter the water for drinking. And also you'll find more fuel, food, booze, the batteries to the boat. Also, you'll find solar panels on some of these boats as well. Maybe bigger, more elaborate medical kits. Propane too. You'll find propane for cooking on these boats, and also shelter. You can sleep down in one of these, and all you got to do is just untie it from the dock and start floating down the river, just like we're doing right here. And I wish I had some kind of editing system to edit these videos better, but I don't. I just kind of go with it. But also on these bigger boats, you're going to find generators to run the AC, some of the other equipment on the boat. So some of these generators may still work after, the case of an EMP, because they're under the water. The whole motor and everything is under the water on these bigger boats. And it's also shield. You got the insulation, and then you got that like aluminum reflective stuff. I don't know if it'll be enough to stop it, but it may still work. If not, you still got the fuel and everything else you could take from it. And also in the case of some of these bigger ships that I'm on, I don't know, maybe I can zoom up here. We're coming up on one. You're gonna find a lot more fuel, water. You'll find thousands of tons of fuel. And the medical kits are going to be way more elaborate. On this boat, I think we probably got 10 or 12 of them. And, one of those heart jumpers, restart your heart, we got one of those out here. Not to mention the amount of food, tons of dry food. We get food every 2 weeks out here, so there's quite a bit of food. And the engines may still work, several different engines. And also, I don't know, you'll find all sorts of stuff out here that you could live off of. You could literally take one of these things in the case of a pandemic, a freighter or a smaller boat, take it out to sea a mile, drop the anchor, hang out there, come back in to resupply, and then go back out. It's hard for people to get to you if they can't get to you. There's only so many boats. Here's what I'm talking about. Look at all the boats just sitting there. Every house along the lake has a boat. And then that boat has gas, batteries, booze, guarantee you that. And in the case of a pandemic, it wouldn't be a bad idea to ride it out on a boat where nobody can get to you. And also, if you're in the Great Lakes region, or if you've been out here at all, you'll notice that there are thousands of islands. Thousands. From small islands to big islands. Islands with a couple houses to islands with nothing on them. And on these islands, most of them have game on them. they cross over to the islands in the wintertime when all the water freezes over, and then they get stuck there. So, you might be able to use that as well. Be careful not to use it all up. And then other things you'll find out here that you could take your boat to are lighthouses. You could go to the lighthouse, hang out there, come back to the shore to resupply and go back out to the lighthouse. And there's also these other structures out here. I can't think of what they're used for. Weather stations. There's weather stations out here that you can get to, hang out there. And a lot of these weather stations and lighthouses have solar panels. That's how they communicate. That's how they get their power, through solar panels. So if you can get to one of these things, you're gonna have power. You'll be able to recharge whatever it is, run lights. And not too many people think of that. People talk about going in the middle of nowhere. Well, come out to the water. Only so many people can get to you in the water. So, just an idea I was thinking about. There's some boats over here. That boat you're just going to find fish and booze on. Nothing else. But some of your bigger boats, like I was talking about, 25 footers, you're going to find quite a bit of stuff. From medical kits, food, propane, water filtration systems, solar panels. And then also, you don't want to forget about your sailboats. Sailboats are going to have a lot of stuff. And not to mention, you don't need a motor to work them. You just need wind. So just some other ideas on how to get out of the city and some of the resources you can find along the canals and rivers. Anyways, thanks for listening. Basement Pepper out.